Hey everyone, welcome back. We're going to talk a little bit more about shapes today. Before we start, I want to kind of explain some of the words we're using to talk about shapes. So, any kind of shape that has sides and vertices and is connected, like a rhombus or a trapezoid or a hexagon or a triangle, any of those shapes are called polygons. So a polygon is a fancy new word, and it basically just means shapes. So what I drew here is a polygon. The type of polygon it is called a triangle. So in this triangle, there are 3 sides. So I labeled this one here side. So in the triangle, there are 3 sides. Now, sides have to be straight lines in a shape. There's also 3 vertices. Now, one of those points by itself is called a vertex. So that is a vertex, that is a vertex, and that is a vertex. If you have more than one, it's called vertices. So it's kind of like if I have one puppy, I'd say I have one puppy. If I have 2 puppies, I add a different ending to it. I'd say puppies, not I have 2 puppy. So we just change the end of the word if we're talking about more than one. So one's called a vertex, and more than one, so 1, 2, 3, are the vertices. So this triangle has 3 sides and 3 vertices. And remember, any shape that has sides and vertices and is closed together is called a polygon. So there's different kinds of triangles. You can look at both of these and know that they're both triangles, but they look a little bit different. So we're going to look at what are the defining attributes. So that means what things do all triangles have? And what are the non-defining attributes? Defining attributes. And this is things that some triangles have that are different than other triangles. So, things that all triangles have. All triangles have 1, 2, 3 vertices. Remember, that's the point where 2 sides meet. 1, 2, 3 vertices. Any triangle you draw is gonna, oops, I forgot to write the number. 3 vertices. All triangles have 1, 2, 3 sides, no matter what. And let's think of some things that are different about triangles. What's one thing that's different about these 2 triangles? Their color could be different. What else could be different? This one's pretty small and this one's pretty big. So they could have different sizes. And what else could be different? They could be pointing in different directions. So this one, the top part is pointing up. What if I turn it like that? So the flat side's on top. They're both still triangles, so they can point in different, running out of room, directions. So all shapes have defining attributes, things that are always the same, and non-defining attributes, things that can be different. Let's try with one more shape. All right, now we're going to look at rectangles. So remember, defining attributes are things that all rectangles have. So I have 2 different rectangles here, but they both have the same number of vertices, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So they both have 4 vertices. And they both have 4, what do you think I'm going to write next?
sides. Now let's look at some things that are non-defining attributes, so things that make rectangles different from other rectangles. So this one's blue and this one's red. Like the triangles, we can write that the colors can be different. They can also have different sizes, big and small. They also, one of them could be more long and one could be more short that way. They could be pointing in different directions. Here they are both pointing long ways. One of them's long ways, one of them sideways. They're both sideways. They're still always rectangles. So they also can go in different directions. So our list looks pretty similar to triangles. So for most shapes, you can say the defining attributes that all that kind of shapes can have in common are its number of vertices and sides, but things that can be different are colors, sizes, and the directions that they're pointing.
All right, as a challenge, I want you to take any scraps of paper you have laying around and draw as many different kinds of triangles as you can. So remember, a triangle has to have 3 vertices, it has to have 3 sides, but you can draw with different colors, different sizes, different ways they're pointing. So I want you to go ahead and pause the video and try to draw as many different kinds of triangles as you can, and then we can compare how many I got and how many you get. All right, I've drawn my triangles now. So I had 4 different colors of whiteboard markers I could use. So for each color, I drew a triangle that has pretty similar lengths of each side. They're all kind of similar. I drew one that's really kind of long, tall, and narrow. And then I drew one that's kind of turned on its side and has a really wide side and 2 smaller sides. So altogether, I drew 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 triangles. They're all different, but they're all still triangles because they all have the defining attributes of a triangle, which is 3 sides and 3 vertices. So good job, however many you got. It's good practice. If you want, you can try it now with rectangles too. So that's all for today. Tomorrow we're going to start something a little new, so make sure you get to Google Classroom and practice the worksheets from yesterday and today so you're all caught up on shapes before we move on. See you guys tomorrow.